If you guys are annoyed of losing so many gunfights, you know you should be winning, you've come to the right video, because that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to win more gunfights, how to stop dying every single time, and just come out on top of most leaderboards. And I'm telling you guys, Black Ops 6 is hard, man. Black Ops 6 is hard. Modern Warfare 3, I'll be on the top of every single leaderboard. This game here, I'll find myself at the bottom sometimes after I've sweated as hard as I could sweat, man. This game's crazy. This matchmaking is wild, but let's get into it, guys. So we're going to talk about how to never die again in Black Ops 6. These are the best tips for you guys, and I want to say one thing before we go into it, and this is gonna be tip number one. You gotta stick to the edges of maps. I don't know how important that is. This game right here, especially Treyarch games, they make 3-lane maps. If you go to the middle, the enemies are going to see you from every single direction. There's not going to be one place where you're safe from. Do not go to the middle of the map. It is so dangerous there. You will probably die so many times. Even if you get 1 or 2 kills, there's going to be that third dude looking at you from some sort of window or something. So make sure you guys stick to the edges of the maps. The right side, the left side. Stay towards your spawn area as well. Don't push in too deep, because the enemies are all going to be coming from in front of you at all times if you're on the side of the map. If they sneak around behind you, chances are your teammates will clear them out anyway. So stick to the edges. You guys will be alive a lot longer. You'll get a lot higher streaks. And yeah, moving on to the next one. You got to make sure you guys are using the right settings. And I got to say, I don't know if it's just me. Please tell me it's not just me. Someone let me know down in the comments if this is happening to you too. But every single time I load up Black Ops 6, my settings get reset. Every single one of them. They just get reset. It's getting annoying. I got to change up my settings every time I load up this game, that I'm not even closing the game anymore. I'm just leaving it open 24/7 because it's so annoying. But the first thing you guys are going to want to do in these settings is go up over to controller settings, obviously. And then from here, what you're going to want to do, and this is something that I recommend, is to swap L1 and R1 with L2 and R2. This is just nicer. The triggers are smaller. They're easier to control. If you're on an Xbox, you can leave that off. If you're on a PlayStation, leave that on. And then what I like to do is I just like to switch my jump stand mantle to R3. That's all I do, because I like jump shotting. It is what it is. You can switch that to drop shotting if you want. And now instead of knifing with my right joystick, I can knife with the X button. So it's a little worse for knifing, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Going to controller vibration, you're going to turn that off as well. Trigger effect, you're going to turn that off. And then in dead zones, this is something that's really important. You're going to put that left stick down all the way to like where, if you can put it to 0, do it. If you have stick drift, put it a bit higher. The maximum up, or sorry, not up, that's the right stick. The maximum down to 25, all right? This is going to help you guys move really, really quick. And then the right stick minimum, you're going to want to put that down as well to wherever you can, as long as you don't have stick drift. And the up on the, what am I saying? The right stick max up all the way to 100. I don't know what I was saying there. This right here always gets reset to me. It goes to 13. You don't want that there. You want it at 0. You want the second you press those triggers, you want it to activate in game. You don't want it up at 13, so then you got to press it harder and stuff. It's just not worth it, right? And also, last thing you want to do here is check out your sensitivity. I find 5.5 really nice. You guys find what you're comfortable at, as long as you could turn on people and control your accuracy. And this is actually pretty important, because you want that sensitivity to be somewhere that you can control it perfectly, so you could aim at enemies before you even aim down sights. You can start shooting in their direction and stuff. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. It's gonna be worth it in my opinion. And then aiming advanced settings, you could set this to instant instead of gradual. And then instead of standard, I like dynamic, and I put my slope scale all the way down to like around 0.60. 0.60 I find to be really nice. You can even go lower if you want. I just find 0.60 to be really nice. And then you could set your custom sensitivity per zoom. I'm gonna do it for low multiplier only at 0.95, but that's gonna be it for the settings. Those are the most important ones. I have other videos if you guys want to see all the settings and stuff, but for winning gunfights, those are probably the most important ones. The next thing I want to talk about is to actually be a camper, and I don't mean this sarcastically or anything. You want to actually be a camper, and by doing this, you want to rotate the same area. So if you're on the left side of the map and you're waiting for enemies to come to you and you kill a bunch of them, they're going to come back with anger. They're going to want vengeance. They're going to want to get you down. So you're going to wait for them to come back, and you're going to drop them again. And then once you kill them enough times, like maybe 2, 3, 4 kills in that area, they know exactly where you are. So just rotate slightly, move to a different area within that same area. So when they run back there, they're not going to know where you're going to be. They're going to be frantically looking for you, and you could just drop them again and again. And another thing with being a camper is to use head glitches. And a lot of people are going to be like, yo, why do you head glitch? Why do you camp? You're so bad at the game. No, I'm not. I'm dropping high kill streaks. I'm dropping good gameplays and stuff. It works, guys. If you guys just care about getting more kills, you got to play like that. A lot of people, they don't think of that. They hate campers. They're going to call you out for camping, but you're going to have a higher score than them, so who really cares, all right? Head glitches are important. There's no headshot multiplier in this game unless you throw attachments on to give you that. So if you're head glitching and you're a really, really hard target to hit, by the way, head glitching is standing behind an object where you could see the enemy's full body and they could barely see your forehead. you're going to be really hard to hit. You're going to win a lot of those gunfights. And in my opinion, it's just worth it. It's like that Jeep on Nuketown, all right? If you go to the Jeep on Nuketown, you're really hard to hit from everyone on the map except for the guys up in the windows because they got a head glitch and they got height advantage. So yeah, make sure you guys are doing that. And also wait the enemies out. You got to wait for them to come to you and stuff. Don't just rush out there trying to drop everyone as fast as you can. Sure, you'll get 50 kills, but you'll also get 40 deaths. That's not worth it. So what you want to do is just wait for the enemies to come to you. They're going to eventually come to you, and then you can just drop them over and over again. Another thing you want to do is have your crosshairs and your center dot lined up to exactly where you think enemies are going to be. If there's a window up ahead and you know that's a hot window that a lot of enemies always pop out of, have your crosshair pointed there as you're moving around the map, as you're moving in that area, so that if an enemy does pop out there, all you got to do is ADS and shoot, and you'll get him pretty fast. Him, by the time he gets to the window, he's not looking anywhere specific. You might be all the way on the left of his screen. He's going to have to readjust his accuracy, then ADS and shoot. All you got to do is ADS and shoot because you're already going to be lined up. So make sure those crosshairs are lined up perfectly. Another thing that a lot of people don't do is bait your teammates, all right? You got to know where your teammates are at all times. You got to know where your teammates are going, and by doing that, you look at the minimap. You can see where all your teammates are. You know where the action is, or you know where the action isn't. And if the action isn't where your teammates are and you're alone on one side of the map, chances are there's a lot of enemies near you. But what you want to do is you want to, if there's an area that's really hot and you died there, or somebody died there, but you don't want to push in alone, wait for a teammate to come by. Someone's going to eventually run in there. They're going to get dropped. You're going to see exactly where they got dropped from, or you'll at least hear it, and then you could go ahead and drop the enemies in there waiting for you to come in as well. Or you could just smoke it out, stun it, flash it, do what you got to do, right? It works. Make sure you guys do that. Another thing, you got to actually focus on where you're shooting. A lot of people just ADS and shoot. They don't actually think in their head what they're doing as they're doing it. What you want to actually do is aim at the chest and know that you're aiming at the chest. Say it to yourself in your head, I'm going to shoot him in the chest. Every single gunfight you get into, just say something like that, and it doesn't matter. Now, there's reasons why you want to shoot the chest rather than the head. Well, one, there's no headshot multiplier by default in Black Ops 6. So a headshot is going to do roughly the same damage as a chest shot. The chest is a lot easier to hit than the head, so make sure you guys are going for that. And if you do throw on attachments that actually give you a headshot multiplier, you still want to aim for the chest, because the chest is also the biggest part of the body to hit, the easiest part of the body to hit, and once you're shooting at the chest, you're automatically going to get a headshot. I'd say 5 out of 10 times. Why? Because your gun's gonna have recoil, it's gonna be shooting upwards, which means automatically from the chest, you're gonna shoot upwards towards the head. And 2, when the enemies shoot back at you, you're gonna get flinch. It's gonna cause your gun to jump upwards. So if you're shooting at the chest, you'll automatically jump up to the head. If you're shooting at the head, you're going to automatically jump up to the sky. You're going to be missing a bunch of shots. So make sure you guys are going for those headshots. It works out nicely. And the last thing I want to talk about is to play it slow. This game is fast. This game's got movement that's unbelievably fast for a Call of Duty game, all right? You don't want to use that movement for what it's worth. You want to actually just kind of play it slow. That's how Black Ops 6 is going to work. That's how you're going to get higher gameplays and stuff. When you watch people get nukes, and I'm talking about legit players, not people who play in bot lobbies, like if you watch Scump get a nuke, or any Optic player, or any FaZe player, or whatever, if you watch someone get a nuke, they play it slow. They're not rushing out there like headless chickens. Now, some videos that you watch of dudes rushing out there with headless chickens dropping nukes, they're playing in bot lobbies. They're playing kids who have a .10 KD. Don't look at them for gameplay. It's not legit gameplay. You're not going to do that. So you want to play slow. Take advantage of it. There's going to be enemies running around. They're going to be running like headless chicken. You're going to call them out. Well, you're not going to call them out. Well, you could if you want, but you'll be talking to yourself. But what you could do is you could just drop them as they're running around. They're going to be using all sorts of omni movements, trying to drop you, trying to do this, trying to do that. You just wait them out, just bait them out. You'll drop them eventually, and you'll get all your kills. Now, guys, if this video did help you out at all, I would truly appreciate a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And let me know down in the comments below, what is your highest gun streak in this game? I think I'm only at like a 16, which is kind of sad, to be honest, because like I normally try to aim for like near 30, and I've been struggling this game, man. I've been struggling pretty hard, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get there eventually. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on. I truly appreciate every single one of you who subs, and all the new subs that we recently got. Thank you guys. Thank you a lot. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.